If you want to see what resilience looks like, here are a few pictures.
I started this project thinking it would maybe be 10 people involved, and suddenly it exploded.
These women say they are all victims of sexual assault. They prefer the term survivors. On the signs, the words that still haunt them.
I tell them to write down whatever they want to let go of the most.
Photographer Grace Brown came up with the idea 3 years ago to give the women a moment of closure, captured forever in a photo.
I wanted something that would stick.
And those words?
They stick.
And it looks like she won't run out of subjects anytime soon. Government figures show that women between the ages of 18 and 24 are the most likely targets of rape and sexual assault. Exact numbers are hard to come by, since many of these cases go unreported, but campus rape has become an all too frequent news story.
All fraternity and sorority activities at the University of Virginia are suspended until the spring semester.
In November, a now discredited article in Rolling Stone roiled the University of Virginia with a tale of an alleged gang rape at a fraternity party. But while much of it has been called into question, it's helped fuel a national conversation about sexual assault on campus.
It's on us.
The White House joined in last fall with the It's On Us campaign.
And take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Missouri Senator Claire McCaskill.
The bad news is that there's probably more of it because there is a much different sexual climate on campuses than there was 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago.
Do you think a lot of this is murky?
It's complicated. That's why you can't hope to find justice in every case. What you can do is try to put up systems that allow justice to occur. This is difficult, difficult stuff.
And that's putting it mildly. As we mentioned, a lot of sexual assaults are never reported, and victims who do come forward aren't always comfortable going to police. So in many cases, it's up to the school to sort out what happened and how to handle it. How often do you think about what happened that night?
I think about it every day.
Sarah Gilcrease, now a senior at the University of Colorado Boulder, says she was sexually assaulted by a fellow student in February 2013.
Frustrating?
Do you remember details of the night?
Yes.
Did you say no?
Yes.
You say that emphatically. Why do you say that so emphatically?
I told him to stop. I told him I didn't want to do it multiple times.
And yet?
He took advantage of me.
In your heart of hearts, do you think he realized that what he was doing was wrong?
Absolutely not.
No?
Nope. The way he acted, I feel like he felt he was entitled to my body.
Entitled?
Entitled.
She says her assailant, who did not respond to our repeated calls and emails, was actually a friend from the school's climbing club, and that in the hours before the alleged assault, they'd both been drinking.
If I was 100% sober, I would have fought back a lot more. But I don't blame myself for it, because I know that I did what I could have in the moment.
You don't blame yourself?
Absolutely not. No, I did what I could at that moment.
What do you mean?
Like now, because I'm sober and coherent, I could fight. But because I was swimming in intoxication, it was difficult. There was no intimacy involved at all. I had my shirt on the entire time. It was not intimate at all. It was very much straight sex. Rape, it was rape. That's what it was. It wasn't even sex. The morning after, I accidentally left my hat at his house, so I asked him to come meet me outside in a public, lit place. I said I was not comfortable with what happened. I did not consent to this, and his response was that I should just forget about it and get over it.
But she didn't get over it. She went to the police, and they told her there wasn't enough evidence to proceed. The school did find her assailant guilty of non-consensual sex and suspended him. But it took the university a month to actually kick him off campus. So Sarah Gilcrease found a different way to get the school's attention. It turns out the same Title IX language that bans discrimination on the playing field also bans sexual harassment at school.
What's really made the difference are the survivors.
New York Senator Kirsten Gillibrand.
A lot of these young women, including the young women that we spoke to out in Colorado, are using Title IX to hold the colleges accountable.
Well, that is the for a better word, federal hook. Colleges are responsible for maintaining a safe environment. They are responsible under Title IX to make sure every kid at that campus can get a good education. And where these colleges are failing is because they're not taking sexual assault and rape as the crime that it is, and not holding rapists and perpetrators accountable. These men and women do not feel safe. And so they are obligated to change how they do business.
The University of Colorado Boulder is one of nearly 100 colleges and universities now under investigation for possible violations of Title IX. In Sarah's case, the school denied liability, but paid her the equivalent of a year's tuition, $32,500.
Is that an admission that you mishandled her case?
I can't talk about any individual case because of confidentiality, privacy.
Valerie Simons is CU Boulder's Title IX coordinator.
I can say that we want to make sure that for her case, for any case before, now, coming up, is we want to do everything we can to eliminate sexual assault on this campus, and that is my mission.
Say something.
The school has even taken a page from the White House and made its own It's On Us video.
It's on us.
It's on us.
But now, CU Boulder is facing yet another Title IX complaint from a male student who says the school unfairly convicted him of sexual assault. New York attorney Andrew Miltenberg represents him and more than 24 other men from 15 states whom he says were victims of a rush to judgment.
Do you think there's been an overcorrection?
I think it's beyond an overcorrection. Things are proceeding too fast and without any real protections to the accused.
Are you saying that most of these young men are presumed guilty even before the process starts?
That is exactly what I am saying.
To help avoid trouble in the first place, California's new affirmative consent law says men and women both have to give a clear, sober yes before anything can happen. And schools like Ohio State University are posting messages like these online and on campus. For his clients, Andrew Miltenberg has a message of his own.
Parents constantly ask me, what should I tell my son to do when he's at college?
What do you say?
Don't be alone in a room with a young lady.
We don't want to hold an innocent young man accountable for a crime he didn't commit any more than we want a rape victim to not have a place to report that crime. We don't want to see injustice on either end.
Do you think there's been an overcorrection?
Not at all. I think we have a long way to go.
For Gillibrand, the solution is a bill she sponsored with McCaskill and several Republicans. Among other things, it would require colleges to make it easier for victims to come forward and fine schools that didn't comply.
I believe this will be something we will actually get done in this Congress.
This year?
This year.
And if that happens, maybe students will have a little more faith in their schools. Maybe Sarah Gilcrease will feel like she made a difference. And maybe Grace Brown won't have people lining up for portraits.
What gives me hope is the amount of people who are starting to talk about sexual assault. All of these people, whether in my personal life or people in general, are sort of coming out of the woodwork and saying, this needs to stop.